Don't you just love it when influencers go to less developed countries and farm poverty and perpetuate stereotypes for views? I mean, just look at this, or this, or this, and tell me what you think. It looks similar, doesn't it? Well, you wouldn't be wrong in saying it's a problem, a big problem that we're seeing happening before our very eyes. These influencers are going to these countries, and instead of exploring the culture, talking to people, and looking at the good side, they go straight to the slums, the most least developed areas, and start farming them for views. And they'll perpetuate these stereotypes that they're scammers, smelly, gross. And you'll see it with a lot of British YouTubers, as well as American, like the small-brained American guys.
Freedom from the colonizers. Speaking of colonizers, here's one now.
Hello.
It's Mr. Bald.
I've come back to colonize this country because what they need is a f***ing broom around here. When we left this country, hundreds of years ago, we left it, not hundreds of years ago, 50 years ago, we left it tidy and neat and nice buildings.
Exactly, and they f***ed it.
You gave them 50 years to look after it, and look what happens.
These guys basically discovered a gold mine. They can go to these countries and farm them, and when they're done, they can go back to their country while the people there live with the stereotypes these guys perpetuate in their videos, discouraging millions of people from going there and experiencing it for themselves, instead making their own judgment about these people without ever getting to know them.
No, this is what the country looks like. Like this is what 99.9%. Not even like this is one of the better areas.
These guys use the increasing South Asian hate, especially against Indians, to their advantage. They title their videos and thumbnails to perpetuate that stereotype of the smelly scammer, that type of thing. And while they go on these things with this attitude and this all high and mighty, I'm being taken advantage of attitude, when they go in there being rude, confrontational, and looking for something to get views from. And the algorithm, it awards it because YouTube awards these type of thumbnails and titles that'll get more clicks, more sensational content. That's why they push it so much.
The problem is the hygiene. Another trap. A lot of scammers. No common sense. I like it. Thank you. You can just lose your life. Zero quality. Already India failed as a country.
The YouTubers saw that and they kept going with it, and you're seeing these copycats appearing over and over, copying the same format. Go to India, the most poorest slum. I survived on $1 in this slum. I did this, I did that. And instead of just actually showing the good sides, the rich sides, the middle class, they go to the most deprived, poorest areas to get a quick buck. Look at the latest videos by some of these guys like Backpacker Ben and Bald and Bankrupt. Look at these thumbnails and titles and tell me you wouldn't see the similarities. They have these weird thumbnails where they make Indians look bad and then go to the poorest side and act like who can ever live here. These people are just surviving. They're trying to get by, and these guys are over here taking advantage of them by being like, oh, look at these scammers, just trying to take advantage of me. They're smelly, they're this, they're that. And without even going to the other parts. I mean, some do, like Bald and Bankrupt, but he mostly focuses on the bad sides. And this guy used to be good. I used to watch him too. But somewhere along the way, he just started morphing into this weird alt-right figure. And he's getting the views still, sure. But it just goes to show his character. I mean, look at his past. He used to be like some weird dating coach, and then he pivoted to making vlogs and stuff. He started off in India, and the Indian vlog used to be good. But then he saw, after the pandemic, that whole rising Indian hate, and he went along on that train. Look at this guy, one of the worst offenders, small-brained American. His video on why I would never visit India is him going around in the most deprived slums of India and acting like he's doing us all a favor by saying, oh, look at this poverty, I would never be here. He knows that the views come in perpetuating those stereotypes about South Asians and then going on to being like, oh, look at this country, it's so much better. I mean, the small-brained American, like, the name fits perfectly, honestly. But these guys are just clowns at the end of the day. Some have also started taking advantage of the whole India-Pakistan hate by going to both countries and acting like, oh, one is so bad and the other is so good, because they're playing on that whole India-Pakistan rivalry and the whole animosity we have against each other. I mean, he's going to my country, Pakistan, and being like, oh, it's so good, people are so kind, you get everything for free. Then going to India and being like, they're scammers, smelly, I would never live here. But at the end of the day, our cultures are very similar. So they're just trying to play on that hatred we have against each other by being like, oh, this one is better than the other.
I'm far away from India. Never go there. Never go there. I will never, ever go there ever again. They don't want you there. They do not want tourists, whatever they say. They do not want you there. I've been there, and I've been to over 6 different cities, spent over a month and a half there, and I've met enough people in enough different places to know they do not like the English.
But our own people aren't making it any better by going in these comments and agreeing with these guys, not knowing they're just making the whole rivalry worse and making it bad for all of us by perpetuating these stereotypes against South Asian. They can't really tell a difference when you go to these Western countries, so they're just making it worse for all of us. But as a Pakistani, I don't support this. It's not doing us any favors. They're just making our brothers on the other side of the border look bad and perpetuating stereotypes and making money off it, and then playing on that rivalry to get more comments and clicks. Others just turn poverty into a spectacle and a challenge to be done. Like, I survived $1 in the slums of Dharwadi, Mumbai, something like that. And they're just sensationalizing these guys' struggles in poverty and making it like this whole game that they survive some grand challenge or something, when these guys do it every day of their lives. They wouldn't know a tenth of the struggle these guys actually go through in these slums, but they just make it for cheap views. But look, not all of these YouTubers are like this. There's good ones out there. They go to these countries, they actually talk to the people, they show the food, the culture, without having this weird superiority complex over them. They go there to actually learn and understand the culture, not just turn it into some cheap views and clicks. Now compare these actual YouTubers to guys like Tyler Oliveira, these so-called journalists and stuff who go to these countries and go straight to the most smallest city that has this local custom and be like, oh, I survived a poop throwing festival. Listen, this guy right here, he made a good video on it. It's a tradition I think is probably gross too, but it's not describing all of India. It's just this small portion who has a specific custom, and this guy makes it out to be like all Indians are like this. And even if you check his Twitter, he's fighting with Indians, acting like all of them are against him, when they're just trying to defend themselves against this because they know how harmful these stereotypes are against them. They already get enough hate. So this guy just goes to this place and perpetuates those same stereotypes and amplifies it to 100. And at the end, he's gonna go back to his American home, make those money from those views, and the people that are left with those stereotypes and hate. And the next YouTuber is gonna come there with his confrontational, uppity attitude and act like everyone's there to scam him or be dirty or stinky. And this is a cycle. This is what's really increasing that South Asian hate. And it happens in Bangladesh too, Pakistan. They go to the gun markets and be like, oh my God, I survived this. I survived these crazy areas. But that South Asia is a unique and diverse place with its own customs and practices. Each country is unique in its own way. So instead of playing them against each other and being like, oh, I would never live here, these guys, they live like shit, but I'm a so-called investigative journalist, so I'm gonna go right here and really know what's going on. When in reality, they're just making sensationalist content, not doing anyone any favors, but making the alt-right grifters even happier with the new material they get to use against different people, different brown people. At the end of the day, when you go to these countries, don't go with this superiority, rude, confrontational attitude, Go there and be curious. It's like what Anthony Bourdain said. Enter with curiosity, not superiority. And those are wise words, RIP to him. And in this day and age with the algorithm awarding this type of content, it's important to remember that. Thanks for watching. Let me know what you think in the comments, and peace.